This session is all about Kishore Vaigyanik Protsahan Yojana, KVPY, which is exam to avail fellowship for BSMS courses in IISc and ICETs. To tell more about this, we have our resource persons, that is Vidya Rashmi Hanehalli and Druhan Rajiv Shah and Pratyush Padwal, who have excelled in their KVPY exams in the previous years and who are with us now. And without, I think, much ado, I will welcome all these three. Firstly, Vidya Rashmi will be speaking. Yes. So we have Vidya Rashmi Hanehalli here, who is a third year integrated BSMS student at IISER Thiruvananthapuram. She's a biology major and interested in cell and molecular biology. She is a constant learner and is trying out Carnatic flute and badminton. She does birding and trekking as well. Vidya Rashmi is the newly elected president of Proteus, the biology club affiliated with School of Biology, IISER Thiruvananthapuram. Welcome, Vidya Rashmi. I hand it over to you. And Vidya Rashmi will introduce you to KVPY and what are the aspects of KVPY and what are the subjects involved in it and all things. You can also ask her the questions towards the end after all three of them speak and deliver the lecture. Yeah, over to you, Rashmi.
Thank you very much, sir, for the introduction. So, hello everyone, I'm Vidya Rashmi Anelli and I'm really glad to be here. So now I'm going to be telling you about what is KVPY, its exam pattern, who is eligible to write it, and other details. So KVPY, which stands for Kishore Vaigyanik Protsahan Yojana, is a national program of fellowship in basic science funded by the Government of India for students who are pursuing basic science and research in science. So the KVPY exam three main streams, that is SA, SX, and SB. So 11th standard students can write through the SA stream, 12th standard students can write through the SX stream, and the first year college students who have taken BSc or any science subject can write the SB stream. So KVPY exam is usually written in the month of October, and the interview process is there in the month of January. But since COVID time, they have decided not to keep the interview process and keep the selection based on your exams only. So the main syllabus for this exam is 11th and 12th portion, which covers all your physics, chemistry, math, and biology. And it's the syllabus is same for all the three streams. It's just that the difficulty level is different. Also, the question paper for SX and SB stream is the same. So coming to the pattern of the exam. So the essay stream, it is for 11th standard students. And there are two parts in this. That's part 1 and part 2. Combining, there are a total of 80 questions. That is 60 questions in part 1 and 20 questions in part 2. And each part has all 4 subjects. That is physics, chemistry, math, and biology. And each of the subject has equal number of questions. So the marking is as follows. In part A, each question carries 1 mark and there is negative marking. So it's +1 and -0.25. And in the part 2, there are the mark awarded for right answer is +2. And if you get it wrong, it is -0.5. So the thing is, you have to answer all the questions in this. All questions are compulsory. Now coming to SX SB stream. In this, again, there are 2 parts. The first part consists of 80 questions and the second part consists of 20 questions. In this, again, there are PCMB, you can there's physics, chemistry, math, and biology, and each of them has equal number of questions. And the marking scheme is the same for this, just like essay. But the difference is that you can only choose 3 subjects in part A and 2 subjects in part B. So you can choose whichever you want. So students can either who want to leave math can leave it, or if you want to take math, you can take it. So that's the benefit of this. So this is the written part of the exam. So when I was writing this exam in 2018, I cleared the first part, but that time I had the interview process. So how the final KVPY marks and awards are graded is that the first written exam contributes to final The interview is usually conducted in IISc Bangalore, which are conducted by a panel of professors from IISc itself. So the main benefit of this IISc exam is the scholarship and the opportunity for you to get admission into IISc or IISER. So the scholarship is such: for the first 3 years, that is when you're doing your BSc or the first 3 years of your integrated BSMS, you are awarded 80,000 per year. And as year follows, the last 2 years of your integrated BSMS or the 2 years of your MSc, you are awarded 1.2 lakh. So take a note, this is only if you take science. You can, I know all of you are going to write KVPY because it's a very good exam and you need exposure, you want to learn things. But this scholarship is only if you want to pursue science as your career, if you want to do something with science. So personally, the best part of KVPY, what I felt, was the exam. And it was a very good exam, and the interview was also very great. And also the YOSHI camp, which you attend clear. So Vidyoshi camp is conducted at the end of every year in IISc Bangalore. This is when people from all different colleges are invited and you have different lectures from different professors. It's a very good opportunity for you to meet with everyone else and you get to learn a lot about that. So this is a brief introduction about KVPY. Thank you.
Yeah, students, please note Vidya Rashmi will be available till the end, and you can also ask her questions towards the end. Please keep your questions towards the end. You can also put your questions on the chat box, which I'll direct them to these people. And to tell more about KVPY, this is an exam which is not an alternative to IIT JEE or NEET. This is only for basic sciences. As you know, research is one of the fields where there's always scope. You know that most of the things what we use in our daily life is out of is a product of research, right? So there's a lot of scope for research, and this exam facilitates students to get into some of the premier research institutions in India. I am also a researcher basically. So research is the key for all the knowledge what we get, and also without research, I think there is no further advancement in any technology or science. So many of you may be interested in research, but you don't know what to do. I think KVPY is one of the exams which will facilitate you into some of the best institutes what we have in India, that is IISc and IISER. IISc also is one of the top ranking institutes. It is within top 200 in the world. I think we will have Pratyush who will talk more about IISc towards the end. Now we have Druhan with us. Druhan Rajiv Shah. Druhan, can you just, yeah, he's with us. You can see here. Druhan Rajiv Shah is a science enthusiast with particular interest in mathematics, programming, and linguistics. He studied in TLCPU College. I think he just passed out this year, and he's wanting to join computer science. He studied in TLCPU College, Bangalore, and currently aspiring to study computer science. And he has cleared his NTSC. As you know, high school students are also here. So NTSC is National Talent Search Exam, which is conducted for high school students with some fellowship. And also KVPY, he has ranked 78 All India rank, and also national rounds of mathematical and linguistic Olympiads, and also JEE mains 99.92. And welcome you, Druhan, and over to you.
Thank you, sir. Hello guys, I'm Druhan, and I'll be talking about my preparation for KVPY mainly. That is how I approach the exam itself. And yeah, so I generally did the standard stuff. That's like reading the 11th portion, 12th portion for physics, chemistry, maths, and biology. Okay, I did have a bit of a setback because I did not choose biology as a subject in 11th and 12th. But like I was able to discuss with my friends about biology, those who did take biology, that is, and that allowed me to overcome that setback. Yeah, so I think two things that I did in my preparation were main things that kind of gave me an edge in the exam. And one of them was the group sessions with my friends. Like I had made a small friend circle in school. Each of my friends was like extremely good at one particular subject. Say one was really good at physics and the other was really good at chemistry. And yeah, so every Sunday we would meet at at CFAL. We would sit in the fifth floor and yeah, we would just pick one subject, and whoever was really good at that subject would help everyone else in that. So yeah, there were two people in that group who had chosen biology as a subject. So yeah, they helped the rest of us, get through our block of not understanding biology per se. And yeah, to some extent, reading the textbooks was kind of given. There's no dodging that. And yeah, the second thing that gave me an edge was the Olympiads, as Vinith sir had mentioned. I've participated in the maths Olympiads, and I participated in the all the other science ones. I didn't go very far in those, but I gave them a shot anyways, and that ended up helping a lot because the Olympiads, what they do is they encourage non-standard thinking. So you don't end up thinking like algorithmically. Okay, you see a question and you see what type of question it is, and you immediately come up with the answer. That's not the kind of question that usually pops up in KVPY exams or the interview for that matter. So the Olympiads allow you to like think in a non-standard way, kind of creatively. So even giving these Olympiads, just appearing for them could, and then just trying out the questions could help you say inculcate that kind of thinking. So yeah, those two things were, I think, instrumental in clearing KVPY for me at least. It's not a one size fits all, but it worked for me. And yeah, also another thing was mock tests. That is, reading the previous year papers, trying to solve them and evaluating them myself. And also the also buying the All India Test Series by MyPat for SA. That is, I cleared KVPY in SA, so for that I'd given the mock test series by MyPat, and I've heard it's good almost only for SA. I didn't take it for SX. I'm not sure about how good it is for SX, but it really helped for SA. I think it's worth giving a shot. And I mean, MyPat itself, mock tests are necessary regardless of where you get them from. So yeah, the three main things in my preparation was the Olympiads, these group discussion sessions, so to speak, the unofficial ones, and these mock tests. So yeah, these three are, I guess, the best way you could prepare to clear KVPY. I guess. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you.
Duhan, would you mind posting that name of the book in the chat box as well? Because some of them may be interested to take it down.
Yes, sir. I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah. Yeah, if I think they have a couple of queries. I think Pratyush Arudha, I think he's yet to join. So until then, we can take. Okay, Pratyush is here. Then we will continue with the session. Yes, we'll continue with the session. Yes. Yeah, we have Pratyush with us. Pratyush is currently.
Hello.
Yeah. He's currently an undergraduate majoring in physics at the Premier Institute, that is Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. And his research is primarily in the theoretical condensed matter physics, topics like superconductivity and topological physics, though he has also dabbled in computer science and biophysics in the past. He is also an amateur astronomer, and he has represented India in the International Olympiad for Astronomy and Astrophysics. To mention, he was a silver medalist in International Olympiad IOA 2018 and KVPY All India rank 7th. And here we have Pratyush, and over to you, Pratyush.
Yeah, hey everyone. Yeah, thanks for being here. Thanks for calling me here. So yeah, I'll probably be talking about IISc and how my experience has been in IISc and why I chose IISc over other IITs. And not that I had a choice, but yeah, I'll say why I wanted to go to IISc in the first place. So I mean, so I'm in my 4th year right now in the Indian Social Science. I'm a physics major, like Vinny said. And yeah, one of the main reasons that I chose IIC was because of the freedom in choosing your courses and also the quality of the courses and also the diversity here. So for example, IIC has a lot of departments across a lot of things. If you look at physics itself, there are some 4 different departments. That's like the main physics department. That's the high energy physics department. That does stuff in particle physics and all that. There's a astrophysics department inside the physics department, and that is the instrumentation and applied physics department. There's also molecular biophysics department. And like it's many different fields, and these are all in just the physics department. Biology, for example, has their own array of units with each of them having their own professors, and engineering is split into many things too. So there's huge diversity here. And also because of these, you have courses specifically for whatever specialization you want to do. If you want to do something specific, you can always find courses in that and do that. And in the undergraduate program, it's designed in such a way that in the first 3 semesters, you have common courses in all these. Everyone has common courses. All 100 of us will have common courses in physics, biology, mathematics, chemistry, engineering, etc., and so on. Yeah, so it can be hard for those who don't want to do those who are specific to one topic. But I guess I found it a bit fun because all of us are suffering together. Not everyone was good at every topic. So like, for example, I was in physics, but I didn't hate biology, and I hated biology and chemistry. But the biology people, they loved biology and chemistry, but they didn't know physics and maths. So exam week used to be, the hostel block used to be lit with everyone trying to figure out what the heck is happening and how to study for it. So yeah, in that way, you end up making a lot of friends, even because you're all suffering together. But yeah, but then after the first 3 semesters, it's absolute freedom. So after that, you do only physics, for example. For me, it's only physics. And you have a bunch of core courses till your 3rd year. It's very few. And then the remaining courses, it's like about 2 courses per semester. But the remaining courses, you're free to take whatever you want. And so because of that, I could take whatever I could directly jump to advanced physics courses that was specifically in my field. I'm working in condensed matter physics. So I could take courses specifically to that, and that stuff that will help me in my research. And it has been of great help to me. It's not general, of course. It depends on how much, on which major you're taking. It depends on the department too. So I know that other departments like chemistry and materials are a bit more strict in that regard, where they ask for prerequisites. But yeah, I mean, and regardless, everyone has a lot of fun, like taking their own courses and mapping their own paths through their research work. And in that way, yeah, everyone's having a lot of fun in IIC. Moreover, IIC is in Bangalore. Okay, and Bangalore, it's a very social place, and IIC is situated right in the center of the city. So whatever you want to do, there's a lot of activities to do right around the city. And yeah, keep in mind the social aspect is very important too. It's not just about the quality of the courses. Like personally, I don't know if I could ruin a remote campus, like say in Kanpur, for example, in the middle of nowhere. So, but yeah, so Bangalore is very fun, and yeah, that's a good thing. I think Pune is also fun. Bombay is also fun. I've been to IIT Bombay. It's a very fun place. A lot of things to do, a lot of food too. Yeah, and that. And like, yeah, coming back to the course structure, I think it's similar for ISERS too. Yeah, for the first 3, now it's, before it used to be for the first 4 semesters, you had common courses. But now it's for the first 3 semesters. They changed it recently, I believe. And yeah, and they also have a lot of freedom. At least in IIT Pune, I think that you don't have to declare any majors. You just take whatever courses you want and chart a path through whatever you wanted. And I think the courses are good too. At least I know in high energy physics, undergraduate people are doing good research in there, in particle physics. And yeah, I mean, so it depends. But I think I don't know much about IIT Pune course structure because I don't have a benchmark. I haven't been discussing that. But I can talk a bit about the IIT Bombay engineering physics course because I have a friend there, and we have been comparing how our experience has been throughout the past 4 years, and like discussing on how it has. And yeah, well, from what I've heard, it is not good for engineering, for physics, if you want to do like stuff like condensed matter physics, because there you have core courses all throughout your 4 years. And also there are, because it's engineering physics, you also have a lot of engineering type courses that do all throughout, and you have labs all throughout the 4 years too. And that means you don't have much free blocks to take extra courses. And also there are elective courses, as in the special courses that you would want to take to specialize in your field. There aren't many of those. I mean, there aren't many specific ones. There are just the most general ones. And yeah, and the flexibility that way. In IIC, at least the labs were only for the first 4 semesters. And then for the 5th semester, we had only 1 lab course. For me, it was online, that 5th semester lab course, which is why I could it was easy to manage. That means I didn't have to do much work. They just send the data, analyze it, yeah, look at what your friends have written and you write it down and just give it in. Right, that's all called left course. But yeah, I mean, and yeah, flexibility wise, it's been very good at IIC too. And so basically, IIC is a 4-year undergraduate program with an optional 5th year for masters. So basically, what you could do is, if you wanted, after the 4 years, you could leave with a bachelor's degree. And this bachelor degree will be compatible for PhD programs in the US and also master's program. And yeah, I know people, so I'll come to that later. So yeah, that because in the US, the PhD program is like a 4-year, and UK too, 4-year undergraduate plus a 5-year PhD. If you want to go to Europe, you can stay back for an extra year and you can do a 5-year program. You can get a master's after the 5th year, and then you can go to Europe for a PhD. It's not necessary though, because I know one of my friend of mine, he has negotiated with a prof in Europe, and he's now directly going for his PhD there after his 4th year, after his 4th year finishes this year. And so, yeah, and so you've got to explore all the opportunities that's available and possible. Not up to you. But yeah, and yeah, what was I saying initially? Yeah, it's a 4-year program. And in the 4th year, you need to do a bachelor thesis, and you don't have any core courses in your 4th year, at least for physics. Chemistry has few, depends on courses. And yeah, and because of my freedom, I could finish all my course credit requirement in my first 3 years itself. And so I was left completely free for my 4th year. And so, yeah, and so basically I'm doing, which is why I'm doing my bachelor thesis at Luxembourg right now, where, yeah, I'm just having fun and doing research without having to worry about assignments, no exams, nothing. I can just have fun. And so, yeah, that flexibility has been amazing for me, at least. And one thing to keep in mind is IIC is not just a science institute, like not just a science research institute, but it also has engineering too. There's a lot of engineering departments: mechanical, chemical engineering, computer science, electrical engineering. I mean, you can name it, design engineering. It's a handful. It's a lot of them, and each of them have wonderful professors who teach a lot. And so the advantage for us as undergraduate is that, you see, the major is only a tag. Like if you're taking a physics major, it's only a tag. No one cares that you've done a physics major. They care about what you have learned during undergraduate, what courses you have taken, and what that. So if you're taking physics, that's just a name. Your degree name is Bachelor in Science in Physics and majoring in physics. What cares is your courses and what you've learned. And so this flexible, because you have amazing instructors and courses and other topics too. There are people who have shifted fields after their undergraduate. So I know many people in my batch, it's catching up slowly, that many people in physics and maths, those especially, they want to shift into computer science, stuff like machine learning and basic theoretical computer science. And what they do is they just, instead of taking these extra electives in physics department, they just take it in the computer science. They take machine learning courses, they take theoretical data structure courses, data science courses, and all that. And this will enable them to shift into whatever they want to do. And theoretically, it's possible for other fields too. Like I know one guy who took an environmental science major, and then he took mechanical engineering courses too, and is now doing his PhD in mechanical engineering after doing his undergraduate in science. And so, yeah, so that's the main point. Your major is just a tag, it's just a name. No one cares about the name. You just depends. What matters is the courses you have taken. And yeah, and so the key point is whatever. Yeah, and physics. I also know people have shifted to biology, and I know one of my close friends. He started off wanting to do condensed matter physics. He worked in condensed matter physics, and then he got went into computational biophysics. He's now doing research in. He's simulating cancer cells in systems biology, and he's doing his bachelor thesis, and he's doing his bachelor thesis in Boston right now. And and then there are a bunch of this flexibility is amazing. I know one other friend of mine who's in my year, he's doing his bachelor thesis in Switzerland in the University of Lausanne, and the fourth friend of mine, he's doing his thesis in University of Innsbruck in experimental cold atom physics. He's a guy who's also negotiating for a direct PhD in his work. So yeah, I mean, so there is a lot of things you can do. There's a lot of possibilities that you can do from IIC. And yeah, it's been quite wonderful. the last advantage is that Bangalore is not just IISc. There are also other institutes right nearby. For example, the Raman Research Institute is a 5-minute walk away. International Center for Theoretical Sciences, that's like a bus ride away, and you have direct buses there. National Center for Biology is also, I don't know, NCBS. Yeah, NCBS, that's what it's full form is, but that's also nearby. And there is buses to NCBS too, that's for biology. That is the Indian Statistical Institute, a bit far away. And there's also the Indian Institute of Astrophysics, which also does regular collaborations with the IISc and RRI. Those three do regular collaboration in astrophysics. And so the key point is this opens up immense collaboration possibilities for students. I know one of my friends is doing his project with one prof at IISc, one prof, he's doing his main project at RRI, and then collaborating. He's also going to TFR in Bombay and also going to the Indian, that's a physics institute in Delhi. I forgot its name. And so he's now traveling around those three. And this is what his bad thesis. He's doing a lot of stuff. And yeah, and people do their projects across the story. You don't like anyone is not doing it that you like in IISc. Chances are they're doing that in one of these other institutes nearby. And you can just go and ask them and can you give me a project? Just go back them and hopefully they'll give you something. And yeah, and also ICTS, for example, holds regular international conferences in physics and mathematics. And so these are actually good conferences. You see people from all around the world coming in, and you can find a lot of people there. And this means that as a student, you can just go to ICTS and one of these international conferences happening. Just go and talk to people and network to them. If you want an international project, just walk up to them and ask them, like, do you have any open positions? And I know people have done that. If you haven't succeeded, yeah, I think it's succeeded, yeah. And so it's a very advantageous thing. I don't think such an environment can be replicated anywhere else other than Bangalore. So in Pune, it's not possible. I don't think Calcutta, it's not possible. I think Pune has one more institute. Delhi, I don't know much about Delhi. Bombay, it's not possible other than for TFR and IIT Bombay. But yeah, I mean, so that finishes up my thing. And also one more thing I'll just close off by saying is that yeah, don't worry if you don't get into any of this. It's fine. Like if you don't get into IISc, if you don't get into IISc, if you don't get into IIT, it's fine. Like you can always find. This is not the only opportunity to climb up the ladder. There are other ways too. You can still do your undergraduate in many other good institutes in India. Like there are many other, I don't know, one of the 3 years was, and then you can shift out for masters. Like I've met many people here who didn't do their undergraduate in any of these courses. So you don't have to break your head, like spend your weekends like solving problems and doing all that just to get into JEE and KVPY. I think it's fine. It's fine if you like want to chill out and rest and have fun. It's fine. Like 11th and 12th and they're school years, because in an ideal world you're supposed to have fun in those times. So it's fine if you don't get it. So don't worry much about it. And yeah, make sure that you have a healthy work-life balance. Don't do only studies. Like make sure if you want to like light up Netflix and binge watch some TV shows, it's fine. Do it. If it helps you relax, do it. Okay, don't be all work and no play. It's important to have the balance. So that's something common that I've seen here too. Weekends are like off. People shut down on the weekends and just have fun. And so yeah, I mean it's fine. So that's yeah. You don't get a mental breakdown in your 11th and 12th. No, that's not the time for that. All right. Yeah. And so yeah, that'll be my closing remarks. Okay. So any of you have any questions? Yeah, that's it. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Pratyush. I think you're at Europe right now, is it?
Yeah, I'm at Luxembourg.
Oh, right, wonderful. So how are they facilitating that type of research for the travel and things? Is it your course?
It's funded. So no. So usually, I mean, in these projects, the group you're working with, the prof should have funding, and then he funds you. You get paid a stipend for living costs and rent and all travel. So it'll be all fully funded. All the people I know, they are fully funded. And so you don't have to pay. You don't have to pay through your own pocket, like especially.
Yeah, that's what is the advantage, right?
Yeah. Yes. You get to travel around. And conferences, you get to like travel around and visit places for free.
Exactly.
We're going to a workshop or a conference.
Yeah. So I liked what Pratyush said is like you have to enjoy the process also. It's not that you break your head, like So you should enjoy it. That's what I think Pratyush was. He used to enjoy maybe learning also, right? At the same time, he was enjoying.
Yeah, I mean, more importantly, you don't have to learn too. Even if you enjoy learning, it's important to stop learning for a while too, even if you enjoy it.
Exactly. You have to take a break. That's what I tell my students also. Enjoy and also have a passion where you are able to draw yourself out of from this for some time and get back, sort of. Yes. Druhan and Vidya Rashmi, can you join the panel? Yeah. So we have the session open for discussion now. I have a couple of questions. I think one of the student is asking to Vidya Rashmi. Just a minute. Yeah. Could you please elaborate a bit on your experience at YOSHI?
Okay, so YOSHI, the one YOSHI I attended was in 2019 December. It was in the first week of December. We directly went to IISc Bangalore, where we were given a place to stay, which was quite close to the college itself. So this was a 3-day event. 3-day, yeah. So we were taken there. There were a series of lectures given. So each day, a professor either from IISc or a nearby college would come and give a lecture. So, and this was in all subjects and interdisciplinary as well. There was computational biology, there was physics.
You are muted, Vidya Rashmi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it was very good. And also in the middle, we had breaks. So this was an opportunity where we went around the campus, went into different buildings and just spoke to any professor who was there in the building. And they were really nice, welcoming, and they answered all of our questions, which was a very good thing, a way to get to know what exactly happens in the world of science. And people are very nice over there. Like IISc is really good campus. So I had a really good time. YOSHI is the time where you meet people from other colleges as well. So you get to know like what is going on in other colleges, what is the course structure of other colleges, and you make friends. So like when I spoke to my seniors about YOSHI, they said just one thing: go there and enjoy the food. And they were actually right. The food in YOSHI is the best food.
Wonderful. So,
Vidya
yes,
Rashmi,
Pratyush,
did you
yeah.
go to YOSHI?
I went in 2019, just before COVID.
Okay. I think that year the food was worse than the time I went.
Oh, but we were just waiting for the lectures to finish and खाना कब मिलेगा हमें जाके खाना
Yes. In general, the food was quite good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Vidya. I think we have a question to Pratyush. I don't know whom he's directing, but Murli, are you around? Can you just unmute yourself and ask the
This
question?
is for anybody who knows the answer. I just wanted to know, like, what is the minimum marks you need to get in essay to have a guaranteed seat in IISc?
I mean, you can't really say like, even if you get like 90, you could say 90 out of 100, you can't really guarantee a seat. But at least in my year, I think like 50 to 60 plus was a really good score. I guess. Yeah, I think that's
So
the
can you
general
at least
trend.
tell rank wise?
Again, it's you can't say for sure, and plus the rank kind of depended on the interview as well. Okay, wait, no, this year there is no interview. Yeah, it's hard to. I don't think you can like get a one-to-one correspondence that this mark will get you this rank. But yeah, I think you can get a you can get a really good rank at I think 65 plus score.
Okay.
Yeah, and also if there was interview at the time, IISc is known for being very generous with their marks. Just go and like answer very properly, and you can get like a 95 out of 100. IISc is usually very generous in interview marks. Because I think it's because most of the people who are giving the interview, well, they're not looking to cut marks. They're looking to see where they want to give you marks. They're not like your typical teachers where they want to cut marks at every mistake. So those people are very generous.
Yeah.
And yeah.
But this year the interview is not
I don't
there.
know what's
right?
happening.
So,
What are they doing?
yeah.
What are they doing?
They're
think
just doing admissions based on the exam itself.
only the
Just
exam
one
scores.
exam and your final ranks are done. Yeah, so usually there is one round of like admissions for IISc, which happens, I don't know around what time, but people should look at their mails carefully, because if the seats are not filled, they will call for lower ranked people for admissions like week after week. So if you are lucky, you could get a seat there.
Yeah. Thank you. Ricky, can you unmute yourself and ask your question?
Yes, this is a question open to everyone. So my question is, what should be our strategy for the last 2 months of the preparation of the KVPY essay exam? Considering that KVPY essay is approximately 2 months away from.
So you have no option all. So you should just first note what are your strong points, what are your weak points, and try to balance it out. So like some subjects are easy marks. Like I could say that biology part 1, it's mainly fact based. So you can learn some facts and you could get marks easily. And you should know some basic formulae in physics, which can again fetch you some easy marks. So just make strategies and like think like which part you can get marks in and how to reduce mistake and efficiency. Last 2 months, take as many mock tests as possible. It will build up your confidence and you can also know how to do time management in the exam itself.
The other thing about the mock tests, I've noticed, I don't know if it has anything to do with like the analysis afterwards, or if it has anything to do with like time management skills, but I think the more mock tests you take, like involuntarily your speed ends up increasing a lot, because as you solve more and more questions, things start like becoming intuitive. You start seeing things without really justifying. You're like, yeah, this is true, obviously. So yeah, you start thinking like that, and yeah, your speed greatly increases. So yeah, more emphasis on mock tests, I guess.
Yeah, it's not just about the content, it's a matter of how the exam will be presented to you too. So like in every exam, like you need to get used to the environment too. How your questions are going to be presented and how. So when you take a mock test, it's important to make sure the environment is as similar as to the original exam itself. So you get used to it. You know how it's going to be presented to you and all that. And also like my experience with the exam was like different. And like in biology, yeah, it was fact based, but physics was for me was more of an application type based and less of formula and like more of thought experiment kind of stuff. And that was hard for me to handle. So ironically, in my 12th, I think KVPY essay, I did worse in physics among the other topics. So because they were all you need to think and not plug in formulas. And yeah, but and biology, I gave biology only in my 11th. I didn't give it in my 12th, and that was basically the week before KVPY. I just mocked up the topics. I had no interest in learning biology. I just mocked up the things a week before KVPY. And I think if you go through their past papers, they usually have a certain set of topics. If I remember right, there were certain set of topics in biology that they like to ask from all the time. And so the questions, there are similar question threads that occur across years. And thankfully, they repeated more or less for me too. And yeah, that helped a lot. But yeah, it is the last big mugging for biology.
Thank you. You have Ricky. You have one more question there, is it?
Yes, my question was it's again open. So, what do you think is the scope for interdisciplinary research right now?
I mean, there's always scope. What do you mean? All research is interdisciplinary at this stage. Because if you want to do something useful, it's always going to be interdisciplinary. You want to take concepts from physics, chemistry, biology, and computer science. You're going to code stuff. You need to know how to code things in a better way. You need to know a bit of algorithm designs for that. And so, I mean, everything is interdisciplinary. Most of the things are interdisciplinary. At least, I mean, within the subfields too, in physics, you're going to collaborate across different subfields in physics, and you're going to have to talk to experimentalists too. And so, I mean, in that way, you do talk to a lot of different people across many regions. So,
and you will have statistics and everything, so you can't avoid that part too. Right?
I mean, statistics is not something you can just like that analysis. That's in the last step. We leave the experimentalist for it.
Yeah.
Actually, one of my professors told me that he heard that it's rather safe to stick to one subject and be extremely good at that rather than jump between subjects. So what do you have to say on that based on your current experience?
I don't know. I feel like that advice is completely incorrect because I mean, I would say don't listen to him. Don't listen to that specific advice, because good research is interdisciplinary research, and even especially in undergraduate, it's important to jump around. Well, I mean, how do you choose something without knowing what everything else is?
Exactly.
And yeah, I would say just know that, and like so everything you got to explore. Yeah, sorry.
In like I'm doing biology right now, molecular and cell biology, and there is not a single research which is not statistically oriented. You have data, yes, you need statistics to make sense of what you see under the microscope. So you should not just focus on biology. You should have some, at least some basic knowledge about computation, some coding or anything, just to, so like any research is always going to be interdisciplinary, and from now onwards it's going to be more interdisciplinary. So you should always jump between and see what you like the most and then settle on one, but never leave the others. So in undergraduate, like all IISERs, IISc, for the first 2 years, we have all subjects, PCMB. So this is just to give a feel or touch about what is there in each subject. Then you take one. But you can also take a major and a minor course, which is there in IISER Trivandrum. And in minor, we have options like data science. So you can do your research and data analysis side by side. So it is always good to be interdisciplinary, because nowadays research, there is a lot of scope, because you just see any sort of Nobel thing, like maybe some Nobel Prize, even biology, it involves statistics. Like you have some computation stuff, then only you can make sense of stuff. Even like take nanoparticles, it's physics, but you use that to do drug delivery in biology. So there is interdisciplinary at every aspect of research.
Absolutely.
But you don't have to stick to it. It's fine. Like I'm not in it. My research is not interdisciplinary because it's just physics. So there are pure fields too that you can stick to. So just wanted to add that. But, that is interdisciplinary.
Yeah. To know everything in the beginning is good, so that you can make a choice later, maybe what you are really interested in, right? That is what the first 2 formative years will give you information about. Yes, Varun has one more question to, I think, Vidya Rashmi. Varun, if you're around, you can just unmute yourself and ask, otherwise I'm going to read it. Okay. I am passionate to do research in biology, chemistry. I would like to know how KVPY would provide me opportunities in these fields and what colleges would provide me these courses. I would like to hear Vidya Rashmi ma'am's opinion. Vidya Rashmi ma'am, okay. Yes.
Yeah, please don't call me ma'am, I'm just third year. Okay.
Yes.
So any college will obviously give you the opportunity to do any research. It may be physics, chemistry, biology, or math. So you should try for IISc, and there are 7 IISERs. There is NICER in Bhubaneswar and CEBS in Mumbai. So there's a separate exam for NICER and CEBS, that is NEST, which happens in late March, I think. It's also a very good exam, similar to KVPY. There's no interview or anything. That will get you, if you clear that, you will get into NICER or CEBS. So yeah, there are opportunities in all colleges, even if you don't get into IISER, IISc. You just have to know how to make the best out of it. And I'm pretty sure, given the good company you have, which you will be making in colleges, and you should always have the nature to explore more. Just be a bit more talkative. Don't have any shame or regrets. Go talk to professors. Be like, I want this. How to do this? Give me ideas. Give me option. And make friends who are seniors in the college, like PhDs or PhDs, and just ask them like what to do. Please give ideas. And that's how you grow and learn things. At end of the day, it doesn't matter which exactly institute you are, but you should just have that passion in you. It's just that IISER, IISc will promote you more.
I think many colleges do have all these courses. Biology, chemistry is a common course if you take any PCM or PCB, like courses in your bachelor's degree also. You have parallel entry into IISc, right? Pratyush, there is a JAM, right?
Sorry, what?
There's a JAM exam, right? Through which bachelors can enter into.
Yeah, there are many exams. JAM, I don't know how do you enter as a PhD.
There is a JAM exam. I think
yeah.
we have a video on that on CFAL channel. You can also go through that, how to parallelly enter into IISc through JAM. Okay. Yeah. Sandra, if you're around, you can just unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hello. My question is that, like, how is the interview process for KVPY? like in case there isn't COVID in the following years and we'll have interviews, what exactly is the process of
Okay, so like initially there is a month before the interview, they'll send you a bunch of forms, like self-reference, like self-appraisal form. They ask you about your interests, and they ask you to get a reference from your teacher, as in forgot the word. I think, yeah, a recommendation letter from your teacher, and yeah, and then there's some proofs that you're studying at, whichever college you're studying at and stuff. So I guess they're trying to they have a couple of forms in order to see what you're interested in, so that they can use that to ask some questions in the interview. So in the actual interview itself, initially they just ask you what topics you're interested in. So if you say maths, they'll usually ask mainly maths questions. And yeah, they just try to get you comfortable, and yeah, they ask questions on what you're strong at. They'll ask one or two questions from what you say you're not strong at, just to see if you're not strong at it, do you neglect it? So best not to do that. But yeah, it's not very stressful either. Yeah, it's mainly on your strength, so it shouldn't be a problem really.
Guys, in the form, don't say you're interested in stuff like quantum gravity or like general relativity or like something. Do not do that. You will get screwed if you do that. People have gotten screwed after doing that. Stick to stuff that you learned in school. Okay. Yeah.
Stay on the safer side, just write biology, chemistry, physics, math. And if they ask, they'll usually ask in the interview what in biology, then give your strongest subject, and then they'll ask questions based on that. But again, as you said, don't give super complex stuff. My friends have done that and they came back crying. Just don't do that.
Yeah, I think this year's exam is going to happen on November 7th, right? And tomorrow is the last date for application. If somebody's interested, I think still they can do it. Is it correct, guys? Tomorrow is the last date.
I don't know.
I can follow it, I wish.
Yeah. So we have one more question from Saket. Which college would be better for physics, IIT or IISc?
I know it's IIC or IIT Bombay specifically for this. I mean, specifically between these two. But yeah, I mean, Bangalore is a good place, like I've said, for doing physics as compared to other cities.
This is outside this KVPY. Ketan wants to ask Pratyush about how he prepared for IOA Olympiad, because mic is not working. I can't ask you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, I didn't specifically prepare for the selection. So I went to the astronomy selection camp because that's the only camp I got into. It was mainly physics. So I didn't get into physics. It turns out I got into astronomy. That was great. And then I went to the selection camp there. They teach you everything from the startups. You didn't know much. I tried learning it, but I couldn't learn anything. It was also super confusing. But I taught it in the camp, and then I happened to get through by the nick of by a small margin. Surprisingly, I got into the team. And then they will guide you how to prepare for the international Olympiads. Like they will give you books to solve and which books to read and what problems to solve. They have problems that they'll give you, and they'll do the preparation. They will help you prepare, the faculty at HPCSC. Yeah. And then the internationals happen.
So Tanmay, you have a question, right? Can you unmute yourself and ask?
Yes, sir. Open question. Which books should I refer for KVPY exam?
NCRT?
Yeah, for biology, I just used NCRT.
Yeah, if you guys have referred some books, you can also tell that, so that it will be helpful to them.
Yeah, ethics part 2 biology is a bit more harder. So try Olympiad questions for any part 2. It's usually that level. It's not that hard, but Olympiad, it's the best bet. You can practice that. For 11th, I know that you guys haven't done 12th standard syllabus yet, but just know what chapters are there, what are the things in that chapter. So just that you know that this is going to come, this is going to happen.
Yeah, Durhan, you wanted to add something?
No, that's about it. I just want to mention about the biology NCERT. That's it.
And Durhan, you cleared your KVPY essay, right? How did you prepare
Yes,
for? It's like there are many students who come to me that they are not biology students, but still they want to give KVPY in the first year. But can you just motivate them or tell them how did you really manage to clear the bio part?
well, like I said, I asked some of my seniors what to do about biology, and yeah, they just recommended the NCERT, just photocopy the NCERT textbook, just make sure every fact is known. Now, I couldn't have done that because I'm not a biology student. I'm not like very well versed with the biology, but I did get a good read of it. And yeah, like I said, I think some of my friends were biology students and they were like hardcore into biology. And yeah, they were, I think, giving me tips here and there, like how they remember stuff. Yeah, the group discussions, I think, were the biggest thing for me in biology. Yeah, so just NCERT and group discussions. That's about it for biology.
Great, thank you. So Adya is asking, I'm interested in artificial intelligence engineering. Will KVPY be useful for me?
I know, come to IISc and learn artificial intelligence engineering and see what courses are there and take those on it, I guess. Other than that, I don't see how it would be useful. I think IIITJEE has entrances based on KVPY, IIITs. So I guess that might be an option.
Okay, Akhilesh is asking, can you please suggest any books for KVPY essay maths? Because math is a bit non-oriental and more of aptitude based. If you guys have referred any books, you can suggest here.
Yeah, honestly, for maths, I didn't really do anything aiming for KVPY because I was anyways working on the math Olympiads. Like I was really interested in maths, so I was working on the math Olympiads, and yeah, that thing just spilled over into KVPY. And yeah, I think the Olympiads just got you thinking about questions in a different way. Like there's no standard way, so that helped in KVPY. And even if not directly, if the topics just didn't directly come, it still helped the way of thinking. So yeah, I don't think I'd be a good person to recommend math books.
Pratyush and Vidya Rashmi, if you have anything to share.
Yeah, whatever he said.
Maybe Vidya
Not
Rashmi,
a
if
math person.
you have taken only PCB, right? So guys, I think you have been preparing for IIITJEE also. Can you please tell me how IIITJEE helped you in NEET in KVPY?
In my case, it was just the hardcore amount of problem solving, just like churning out one problem per minute and stuff. At least that's like a best case scenario, but yeah, it got me used to solving a lot of problems in one go. That's pretty much it, actually. And like the calculus heavy syllabus, I guess.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's just the extent to it.
JEE, I used to do math and physics, and that is what helped me for KVPY math and physics. I did not put like any extra effort for math or physics, but it certainly did help. If you're aiming only for one subject, bio-based, you should practice for JEE math and bio. It will help.
Yeah, Daniel, if you are around, please unmute yourself and ask your question. Daniel, okay. Sumukha. Okay, Daniel is asking, how did you overcome your distractions during your exam periods? Any tips?
You don't overcome them, you go do it. That's what I said initially. Like, don't overcome your distraction. Make sure it's balanced. That's it.
What books to refer for physics Olympiad? Okay, it's for Olympiad. Is there any reference? Physics Olympiad, anybody?
Well, I think that was some physics book that MPN gave. You could probably ask Mahisar about it.
Okay,
I don't
yeah.
exactly remember.
Students, Yeah, Mahesh sir is in the campus. Like you can ask him. That's what he says. Yeah. Sharanya asks, which college is good for aeronautical engineering? Any idea, guys? No. Okay. So, can you please suggest books for KVPY SX? My mic is, I think, already been discussed, right? KVPY SX books. Okay. Is NCRT more than enough for KVPY essay paper? What do you guys say? For biology,
Maths,
maybe.
no.
Yeah.
For maths, no. I remember that, but other than that, I don't remember what the specific books are. Both of you can say.
For biology, 11th and 12th NCERT, I think was good enough. I guess that's about it. Yeah, math and physics, I agree. Wasn't enough. Bit of extra knowledge would help. Chemistry, I think, yeah, 11th and 12th, it did help pretty much.
Okay. I think if you're preparing for IIITJEE, I think physics, chemistry, and maths would be easier for you. That's what is their overall, I think, opinion. Yes. Murli, can you ask that question?
No, like if you're done with all the required theory, then in these last 2 months, should you like do KVPY mock papers more, or should you like try your hand at Olympiad questions as well?
That's too specific. It depends on your preference at that level and what you want to do. It's too specific to say whether it will help you or not.
At the end of 2 months anyway, there might be some topics you're not that confident in. So just put a little effort and time in that. If you have a lot of time to spare, then sure, you can do some extra Olympiad problems. But just try to make sure that everything, you're confident in everything and you're pretty sure that you can ace it.
And
Yeah,
yeah. Do not go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, and about like finding the topics. I mean, if you feel you're not like, there is no such topic that you're not so good in, I guess a mock test would be good to, point out what topics you're not good at. So, yeah.
Thank you. And generally, they say that essay is based on your knowledge up to 10th. I don't know how really it is true. Somebody is asking, is 10th syllabus enough, to revise, or should we revise 10th syllabus for essay exam?
I don't remember 10th syllabus, unfortunately.
That means, guys, you should understand that you have to give preference for maybe first PUC and second PUC, right? And also, I see that KVPY, even though IISc does not give any prescribed syllabus, there are many other websites which give syllabus. Do you feel that this syllabus is really authentic and they can follow that or adhere to that?
I know what I'd say is just like figure out the syllabus on your own by going through the past papers. That'll be like the most helpful. Look at the past papers, see what topics they come from, and try getting an idea of what the topics are yourself. I think that'll be more helpful than just looking it up on these sites. I mean, that'll be helpful too, but most helpful will be trying to figure it out yourself.
Yeah, because it's like any other exams, there is no prescribed syllabus. Like students will be like, this is what they need to read, right? They don't have anything like that. But if you see like Vedanta or maybe Byju's, they give some sort of a syllabus, which is very common everywhere. Even I've tried to follow that pattern. It's almost same. So I think you also might have seen that there is a pattern, right? That's what I'm asking you. Yes.
Yeah, that is a pattern. So you can, that's what I figured the biology patterns I could figure out by just going to the past papers and trying to see which topics to give more focus on. But I don't remember what those topics are now. But I remember there were certain topics which had more importance than the others. Thankfully, it repeated.
So yeah, I think if we can take a couple of more questions, then we will wind up this session. So students, if you have any more questions, please directly you can unmute yourself and ask it to any of the three resource persons of today's webinar. Yes, Soumya. I just wanted to know, does KVPY provide fellowship post-MS?
No, you have separate fellowships for that.
Like you have to go through NET?
Yes, no, CSIR. If you want to do PhD in India, there is CSIR. And if you want to go outside, there are for different countries, there are different fellowship programs.
Okay. Soumya is asking, is it compulsory to write KVPY in both 11th and 12th to get into an institution?
It depends on what institution you want to get in. If you want just medical, like if you want MBBS, then you can write KVPY for fun. If you are focusing only on engineering, you can again write KVPY for fun. But if you are going for a research or science oriented career, then yes, KVPY is a must.
So yeah, I think if they clear once, it's done, right? If they cleared in 11th, it's done, right? So that's what maybe she was asking. So if you clear it in 11th, you need not write again in 12th. Please understand that. Okay. And I just wanted to ask you all, what is the freedom that IISc and IISER gives over other, let's say, state universities or state colleges or central universities?
There's a lot of freedom. So like all the central institutes have a very huge campus, like a huge campus. And like we don't have curfew, so we can go anywhere, anytime at night. We can spend all night in the lab if you want, and unlimited access to the library and many other things. It's again not just study based. You have many other recreational activities also provided there. We have a huge indoor stadium, a huge cricket, football stadium. You can go anywhere, anytime you want. And since my campus is located right in the Western Ghats, you get to see a lot of things. Like I got interested in birding after you, sir. So I go early morning birding and I can see amazing birds. And then there are clubs. So me and my friends, we started a few clubs, and right now I'm the president of a club. So then we have a lot of outreach programs in that. We learn a lot of new things in that. So, and end of the day is not just about going to classes and getting a good CGPA. It's having a good network and trying to make as many friends as possible so that you get to know a lot of things for what you have to do in the future. Like I did not know about the things with Pratyush said. So now I'm like learning new things. So yeah, it's just good to have friends.
I just want to know, is there any other alternative admission to IISc and IISERs?
For
BSMS?
For IISER, there are 3 streams of admission. One is the KVPY, other one is the IISER aptitude test, and next is JEE Advanced.
Yeah,
So
students who
apply through any one of them.
Correct. If you miss out on
And
KVPY,
I've
you
heard
can
that.
also. Yeah.
So I've also
go.
heard that IISc can takes in through NEET, like top rank of NEET, they take in people. Rest I'm not sure.
Yeah, if you are missed on the KVPY part, you can see that there are also other platforms through which you can enter, like IIT, that is IISER aptitude test.
Yeah.
And
if you're an international student, it's easier to get into IISc as an undergraduate. They started last year. You can just do SAT and get in, but I don't think that will apply to us people.
Yeah. And also one more advantage of studying in this campus is that you don't have any fees, right? Is that, can you just tell something on that to students?
That all comes with the KPI. I mean, with the KPI money, you can pay for everything. Fees and mess. The mess fees is more than annual fees and IISc tuition fees. Unfortunately.
Okay.
Substantially more, yeah.
Okay. But see, generally, when they get into any BSc or master's degree, they have to pay course fees. Do you have that course fees in national institutes? That's what I'm asking you.
We have it. But we pay. It all comes in. You can all pay this in your KPI money.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it comes well within that. So it's fine.
Okay. And also, students, you'll be given a contingency money of around 20,000 for the first 3 years, and the last 2 years of 28,000, which you can spend. It is basically they're giving you a pocket money, which you can spend on your expenses, maybe, right? Yeah.
They usually send. They usually send money in random order. It's not just like every month you get 5,000. It depends on their mood, I guess. They send like 60,000 at once, and then they go away for 8 months. You're like, Cheta remaining money, and in the last like, here, your remaining money.
It is
It's
Vidya
not
Rashmi, that
uniform, but you will get your money at the end of every year.
exactly. See,
It's true,
government
not just
institutes,
for, yeah,
it's
I just want
always
to say
common.
it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true
Yeah.
for PhD people too, not just for undergraduates. So,
Exactly. I've also
yeah,
experienced,
if
I
you're
was doing
PhD.
research. We used to get once in a year. We used to get lakhs altogether once in a year. So it's that money will come definitely, but when, we are not sure. But it's going to come within that stipulated time, 8 months to 1 year, maybe. Right? That's the waiting period for. Yes. Yeah, Ricky, you have last one question, then we will wind this session here.
Yes, the last question is, so you guys told that you have done group discussion, right? So I specifically want to know what you guys did in the group discussions.
Yeah,
That
usually
was a group
when we're like,
discussion. Wait, what group discussion is this?
That
Like
is voluntary
subjects.
group decision.
You
like, we
With our
just like,
friend circle, right? Like 4
Yeah.
5 friends, we are discussing. Yeah, that.
Okay.
yeah, so we just pick a random topic or maybe one topic which somebody is not very comfortable with, and we just study exclusively that for maybe like 1 or 2 hours. And at the end, we would just do one mock test together and just discuss the whole thing. Instead of a mock test, maybe more of a previous year paper. But yeah, the focus was on like clearing out concepts. Like if I had like one topic I was not strong, if there was one topic I was having trouble with, I would just ask one of my friends, and they would just give a master class at that on the spot almost. So yeah, that's usually what we did.
Yeah, thank you. I think one more question I'll just take. In 12th standard, sorry. I've heard IISc takes ranks up to 250 for NEET JEE. So if vacancies are present, then do the next lower ranks taken in?
I think they declare the final number of, the acceptance rank after they fill up the seats. So it's not like before the admission they declare like, okay, we're only accepting above 250 ranks. It's like they accept whoever comes in with I think a high enough rank, and then they'd say, okay, we're closing it at this point. I think that's usually how it works.
Okay. So Druhan, Pratyush, and Vidya Rashmi, can you just give your final advice or some sort of verdict to students also aspiring for KVPY? Yes, Druhan.
I guess the only thing I can give is to get interested, be interested in the subject, and like don't look at it from a narrow perspective. Like try to think creatively. I guess that could be a good way to approach science in general, even outside KVPY.
Yeah, Pratyush.
Yeah, I'm just gonna play devil's advocate and say like, don't worry too much about any of this. Okay, it's fine if you don't get it. So there are other ways to climb up the ladder, and it's fine if you don't get into IIC, IISER, IIT. Don't break your head over it. Have fun, enjoy your 11th and 12th. That's the most important thing.
Exactly.
So yeah, just don't worry about it. And it doesn't matter in the long run. No one's gonna care that you got into KP. No one's gonna care you got into IIT. So don't worry about it.
Yeah, enjoy the process. Maybe that's what he says. Whatever you're doing, just enjoy it. Yeah. Vidya Rashmi.
I did not do what he said. I did not focus on having fun in 11th and 12th. I kind of regret that though. Like I should have more, but it's fine. I'm doing a lot of enjoyment now. Like college, it's not just study. You meet a lot of people in colleges. Since it's ISO, there are people from everywhere. So KVPY just what I wanted KVPY really badly. So the last few months, I put my heart and soul into it, and somehow, luckily, I got it. So I think if you put a little more effort from your side, nothing is impossible. But again, just keep your mind relaxed. Don't get too stressed. Take care of your mental health also side by side. Don't get overburned. Take things slowly. Again, if you don't clear KVPY, it's not the end of the world. There are options. There is IISER aptitude test. I wrote IISER aptitude test also for fun, and I got that also. But yeah, just enjoy the process, like a subject, just to know like, yes, this is going on in a subject. I want to do research. This is beautiful. Just that's when you get truly motivated. When you realize something is beautiful, you want it, You'll get it. Again, all the best for every aspirant here.
Yeah, thank you, Druhan, Pratyush, and Vidya Rashmi. I would request you all, could you all, share your email IDs also with the participants so that if they have any queries, they'll be able to get in touch with you all. Yeah. So students, that's what these people who have already cleared their KVPY exam, they say that do not get stressed out, and you should concentrate on your mental and physical health also, which is more important than anything, right? If you have the best physical health and mental health, you can do anything in the world. So I also personally wish you all the very best, and thank you, Druhan Shah and Pratyush Podwal and Vidya Rashmi Hanayali for taking your time. I think you guys are busy. I understand that. So thank you so much for coming here and sharing your experiences and also helping our students to enable themselves to better their results in KVPY. Okay, thank you so much.